All right. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Congrats. Welcome in, Jakara. Oh wait, my captains aren't on. They just posted in the chat too, and I was like, yeah, fine. I'll turn them on when I actually unmute myself. All right. Captions. Are you working? Barely. Okay. Anywho, welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, Jakara. Also, congrats, Elotara, for getting first for the second time. Welcome in. Hope y'all are doing well. Oh, this was cute. Guess what? Oh, what? I like good news. Love to hear some. Hi, buddy. I'm a rough day, so don't mind me too much. My stomach hurts. Okay. Tummy ache survivor. Yes, I'd love to hear some good news. It's been a rough week for us, unfortunately. One follower away from affiliate. Oh, snap. Whoa, that's awesome. I forgot you were an affiliate. What the heck? Oh, hold on. Let's do a shout out for Jakar then. You do it. I'll do the little. You do the one. Anyways.
No, Johnny, because you let me know. You let me know who fucking with me. No one who checking for me. No one interrupting my page. Not one. I'm the baddest motherfucker that you ever did see. Who fucking with me? No one who checking for me. No one who coming for me. No one. I'm the baddest motherfucker. Baddest motherfucker. I'm the baddest motherfucker. Baddest motherfucker. I'm the baddest motherfucker. I'm the baddest motherfucker. I'm the baddest motherfucker that you ever did see. Bitch. Please.
Yeah. Well, give Jakara a follow. Oh, it worked. Oh, it worked. I don't know why it lagged. Something's up. I think it might mix it up. Might be acting kind of funny. Anyways, congratulations. Jakara is only one follower away from reaching affiliate. So let's go ahead and run them numbers up. Okay. If you're already following Jakara, go ahead and follow. Let's see. What were you last playing? Coral Island. So Jakara playing a bunch of Coral Island and Bob's Head. I have not even been able to pop into streams lately just because living in a shelter and the way that my lack of connection to Wi-Fi and data plan is set up, watching Twitch streams. Oof. Oh, it's just Pokemon again. Dracazolt. Dracazolt. I think I saw this one last stream. I didn't actually try to go for it because I was busy talking probably. Because we didn't actually get to play Fortnite. And unfortunately, for those of you hoping to play Fortnite today, that will not be happening because I left, which won't be my problem for much longer, but I left my the Switch dock and charger cords and everything in our cubby at the shelter, and I did not feel like walking all the way back there to go get it because it's not as simple as, oh, I'll just go to my cubby and grab it. I have to wait for a staff member to let me in. It's a whole complicated thing, girl, and I hate them. Anyways, I guess I already has Pokemon, but okay, Dracozolt and Pokédex. Oh yeah, go ahead and catch it. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, go ahead and follow Jakara. She's streaming Coral Island. All right, here to do the shout out. Okay. But yes, she's streaming Coral Island. And I have not been able to see really anybody play any Coral Island, like, at all. And honestly, the game seems so cool. Like, when the game had actually dropped and, the pre-order was available, if I had actually, well, also if I had a PC, I would be playing this game probably nonstop. Like, that would be a comfort game of mine, just because, like, I love games that have, like, really great art, and that game is that one. But also, it's like, not necessarily like Animal Crossing exactly, but you essentially get to do these like tasks and stuff like that. And around it essentially gift like people things. And like I mean, I don't know exactly how the romantic thing works, but like plenty of people to romance. So there's always that. That's always nice. But yeah, please follow Jakara. Ooh, Jakara and Clanny got the Dracazolt. Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce that necessarily. But yeah, congrats. First Pokemon on the stream. I just made it to year 2. This current save file has been played for 95 hours. Year 2? You got years in that game? Damn. Well, congrats. 95 hours. I mean, like, well, that's good then. I don't know how much you pre-ordered. How much a pre-order? I think. Well, I guess it was not a pre-order. It was like some traffic. A contribution. They did like a Kickstarter or something, right? Like, and Clayton made the good point of like, putting much time into the thing. Essentially, like, if I'm gonna spend $100 on a game, I have to put 100 hours into it. I'm sure you didn't even spend. I don't know if you even spent $100. So the fact of put 95 hours into it is like a really great deal, a really great trade off. Got 8 hearts, 8 out of 9. Ooh, 8 hearts out of 8 out of 9. How does that work? I wonder if it's like Hades, where you have to like reach 10 to actually. Well, you have to. Well, let me not spoil that. But yeah, I wonder if like Hades, you have to kind of reach 10. All right. That's fascinating. I remember everybody by giving them food and annoying them until the NPC like dialogue starts getting hostile. Okay. Um, so many rentable characters in Coral Island as well. Usually there's like 12-ish folks in these types of games, but there's like 20 plus. Love that for me. $125 have 250 hours in it. Oh, you're in this current save. Wow. Oh, it's awesome. So I figured, okay, first I was thinking like, okay, be at the pre-order, but also it's a Kickstarter. You can get like other backer items too. So probably like, I'm thinking how much I spent on the different Kickstarters, and I'm like, probably like 100 something at least. Okay, that makes sense. Wow, 250 hours. Damn, you know, doubled it. Nice. Well, that's cool. I'm excited to play the game. Like, y'all don't even know. I mean, things aren't great now, obviously. There's even an NB and a singular one. Only one. Hmm. What's the character's name? I'll look them up. Watch if they pass the test. No, I'm kidding. But what was I gonna say? But no, I know things aren't great in our lives right now. But like I look forward to the day where we can like have a space home, and like being able to stream. You could actually, what's this? Dippa and Raja. Just one. Wait, one. Wait, what? You can't marry Dippa. I'm sorry, I meant to ransom. Oh, but yes. Hmm. Let me. Mm, let's see. Coral Island. Coral Island Dipper. Let me see. Um, wait, where's my media tab here? Ah, wrong one. Okay. All right. And Coral. Coral. Oh, look at my recent searches. Coral Island Dipper. Oh. What? Was going to make some 3D version? Oh, okay. What did Dipper do? This outfit's giving like blacksmith or something. If that's even a thing in this game. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, work. Wait, what's this cute fan art? Oh wait, maybe it's not fan art. Maybe it's actually from the game. Actually, game art. This is the type of shit I'm talking about in these games. Like art is cute. Like art is super good. Make Derek dateable. I don't know who that is. Never mind. We're not dating white men during Black History Month. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, Dippa and the Raja. What's that? Oh wait. You can't romance who? Hold on. Raja's fine. I want them. Dippa's an artist. Ooh. Jakar out here saying no MB erasure allowed, and I respect the heck out of that. Romanceable. Okay, wait. But who was it? You can't marry Dippa. Oh, wait, you gotta marry in this game? Damn. A lot of people fuck. Anyway. They work. Oh, this is cute. What? Aw. Maybe this be spoiler shit. I don't know. Let me not do too much. Okay, wait, this art is cute. Well, this is actually fan art, isn't it? Yeah, never mind, that's fan art. What's this? Coral Island Wiki. Oh, they're like a little fish you can catch. Ah, what the? What the? Is there a shark character in this game? What's going on? Oh god, I'll get into fan art. Gotta be careful. People love to whitewash. Oh, these are cute. Dateable characters. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, I don't want to go too far. Hold on, let me not. I don't want to see too much of the game. I mean, I'm probably gonna see plenty, but oh look, somebody says Raj is non-binary. Huh? Raj is non-binary. This is just a reminder. I know it's very easy to miss. I love you guys. R/Coral Island. They non-binary. Bachelor. Work. Love that. Wait, can y'all even see? I don't know if y'all can even see like any of these images. Yeah, you can. Okay, good. The fact they don't erase body hair or scars or stretch marks in this game. Oh, they don't? Because you know how they like to be about stretch marks. Wow, work. Oh, that's fine. I want them. Yeah. Yes, there's an underwater area where you can dive, and there are mermaids. Oh my gosh, that's cool. What the fuck? Wow, there's so much interesting shit in this game. This is what I'm talking about. Like, and art is cute too. I don't think I've really played a lot. Like, I don't know what to describe this as. I say dating simulator or something like that, but I've not really played a lot of games like this, and so it'd be nice to be able to do that. Yes, Suki has visible stretch marks. Suki, I don't know all the characters either. If you told me the character's name, I'd probably be like, huh? Who? Suki. Go back to media tab. Let's see. Suki, yeah. And Wait, is it Suki? I guess so. Oh wait, let me not too much fan art. Wait, maybe this is the fan art. Okay. I'm trying to be careful. Let's see. What's this? She runs in with her twin sister, Alice. She's a mom first, and everything else comes second. A devotee of healthy living and champion. Okay. All right. Anyways, stretch marks. Let me see. Oh, I see. Oh, interesting. Say hi to Suki, a recent divorcee. Oh, Suki is putting her focus on herself. She drowned herself in work, exercise, and building a healthy something. Okay. All right. Okay, we love that. Capricorn coded. There's one mental character who had a child and she still has her damn stretch marks from pregnancy. And okay, I see what you mean. Oh, nice. I thought like there's a big stretch marks were consistent thing. I know not all the characters are thin, so I was expecting there to be like more character stretch marks. And this is cute. Oh, Coral Island Romance Guide. Okay, no, hold on. Let me get back to the Elder Scream stuff. She do be a health nut. Let's see. Ribbon Capricorn coded. Where are we? Oh, anywho, well, welcome in, Clanny, and welcome in everybody who's come in so far or who's maybe lurking. Um, so I wanted honestly to just play Fortnite and shit today, but like I said before, I left my Switch and shit there, and so that's not gonna happen. But I actually have been doing something interesting. So let me actually go to my not website, my AO3. But so for a while, since like I think 2019, maybe 2018, probably 2019, I'm gonna start posting a fan fiction on Archive of Our Own. Which, if y'all aren't familiar with fan fiction and um whatever, Archive of Our Own, I don't think it's been the longest. It's not a popular website either. I don't think it's a huge website when it comes to like I don't know fan fiction and shit. Anyway, whatever. But also the name of it doesn't necessarily indicate it's fan fiction, like fanfiction.net and other places like Wattpad or whatever. And so I don't know if it's necessarily the most popular or something, but either way, I've used that for a couple of years writing fan fiction on there. And I never really like shared a lot of it publicly. Like I think on my Instagram I would share I think on Instagram I would share like there's a point in time where I was like posting on my stories every day. I came in dancing to my favorite hype vid you have. Oh yeah. That's this gif. Oh, this is cute. What was this character? I'm trying to see. This Bob Burgers. I'm trying to see what the character is underneath. Anyway, I've been writing like for a while, and like fanfiction like is so fun because it's like a way less like for me like Goomba. I know it's Goomba Krabby's dog. I know it's Goomba, but I'm trying to see like if I recognize a character like who's dancing underneath. I'm trying to remember like if maybe it's from the animation. I mean, maybe it's like I don't know why I'm getting the vibe. It's like a Fox, like a 20th Century Fox animation, like Simpsons or something like that. Anywho, oh, this GIF is so cute, especially with just like a little character look like dancing on screen. I believe it's that frog. That frog. Hmm, frog. Honestly, there's a lot. I'm trying to remember like frog. Like Kermit? I feel like it's not Kermit, so I'm gonna change the subject. No, but I've been writing fanfiction and shit for a while, and like this year, I kind of recognized like, well, wow, I haven't posted anything in like 2 years on AO3, which like honestly a travesty because I am like at multiple points in time being assaulted by the amount of like emails I get of people commenting on fan fictions that I haven't finished or that I wrote like years ago, like begging for like another chapter and shit. And like for like and let's be clear, like let's start at the beginning. I used to like write my own like stories. Sorry I'm being vague because I know a lot of folks don't like the frog because it's basically been claimed by alt right now. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I kind of figured. That's why I was like, "What is this from? What's animation?" I didn't recognize it at all. So if you had mentioned it, I would literally have been like, Simpsons probably or something. But oh no, I get that. I think who was it? Thanks Internet actually mentioned thanks Internet the streamer who actually mentioned that she doesn't allow like gifts emotes. Girl, what? It's been too long. I've been gone too long. Allow emotes with like that with a Pepe or whatever emotes stuff like that in her stream, and that like actually the other streamers who made alternatives like what's it called? Oh my god, there's a streamer who made an alternative of like frog character emotes and stuff for people to use for free. I don't remember the name of it. Do you remember Tier? She's busy reading her Smut Peddler book. I'm trying to think. I'm looking at what you're saying. I don't remember, but I definitely get what you mean, and I definitely understand because, like, I don't know. I'm not necessarily at a point where I am entirely sure of my stance on like whether or not people can like use. It really depends on the emote, but it's such a heavily used like motif, so to speak, in streaming. And so many people who are like uneducated, undereducated, unaware of like some of the like exactly like the tone and shit like that of how this meme has been, used and abused that they don't like really recognize it. But also I'm kind of like, I don't know, something about kind of giving vaguely blackface. But also I'm not seeing the face of the character, so it's like, okay. But yeah, no, I definitely understand why people are kind of like, nah, I'm gonna like avoid that one. I'm not gonna verse that minefield. Um with me begging a beggar for new chapters from people. I've been waiting since 2016 for chapters from this one fic. I have literally hold on, let me go ahead and pull up my O3 actually. Am I logged in? To make sure that's all okay. So let me sorry, I got off tangent. Let me get back to AO3. So I've been on AO3 for like years at this point, a couple of years. I don't remember I think my first fan fiction on there was like a Professor Hulk one. So probably it was after I saw, was it Endgame or something like that? I don't know. One of those Avengers movies with the Professor Hulk, probably the first one, obviously. Um, Not Endgame. What's the one before Endgame? Oh, not Civil War, girl. What is it called? No, not Age of Ultron. No, Avengers. Avengers. Okay, no. Whatever. Y'all know which one I'm talking about. If you don't, then it's fine. Either way, but no, I have like been writing fan fictions like consistently, and also I've been writing fanfics for years. Like as a kid, I grew up writing like a bunch of like my own character. Infinity War. Okay, I think it was Infinity War. Why did you say it started with an A? Yeah, it was Infinity War. But basically, I had like been writing shit like that, but like I was like really intent on like, oh, this is my icon here too. I saw that what's it? Oh no, it covered it. Whatever. This is my icon. um, but I've been writing like shit for like a long time, basically. And like, but I always kind of put it on the back burner and was like, yeah, I'm writing. It's just okay. I don't really care about writing because I was like really, really intent on. Oh God, it's this other Pokemon again. It's the Dream Eater. God, why do I keep seeing this one again? I just saw it last stream. Jesus, this one is creepy. This doesn't give Pokemon vibes. I'm serious. It's giving like Digimon virus energy. I don't like it. But all right, thanks for the link here. But yeah, I was like put on the back burner because I'm like, well, art seems something I'm much better at because people actually like tell me I'm good at it. I think we're gonna do that for more. Was that mana do? Oh, I see. I literally saw a video. Someone's like, "What is the origin of this?" And like, I actually read about it. Like that song, it was like, the origin of it was like the song was actually composed for, um, like, oh my god, it wasn't even composed for the Muppets or anything or Sesame Street. Was that what it was? It was composed for like something completely different, and like the director ended up using it for. It was like a whole long story that takes place back in the day. And I'm just like, but why does everybody know the song? Like, oh, we all know it from the same like it was pre-internet. Like this honestly really does predate like the internet almost. Like episode of was it Sesame Street or was it? People learn it from TikTok. I mean, I know people know from TikTok now, but I'm like even before that. Like my knowledge of it predates like the existence of TikTok. So I'm just like, wow. Anyway, that's funny. Like, because you spelled it differently than I would have spelled it, but still, I still like got it. It was like the do. Sesame Street was that girl. I know. I heard Sesame Street was on like Hulu or HBO Max. I was kind of like sad. I was like, why are you privatizing like our culture? Anyway, like because like SpongeBob was on there too, and if the kids aren't watching it on Nick, and if the shows aren't on TV still anymore, then they just aren't watching it. If it's not on streaming service, they have access to. And I'm just like, why are you putting this? I don't like exclusivity deals for like childhood media. Like, come on now, like you gotta like it's like SpongeBob. I gotta like, and I'm sure not even all the episodes are on streaming service. I'm sure there's some that are taken down because of I don't know they didn't age well and other shit. It's just like ugh, disgusting. Honestly, I hate that for me. But wait, damn. Okay, so anyways, yeah, writing fanfiction for a while. I never really shared a lot of it. Well, of course not on stream because I actually had other streams planned, but I never got around to like actually doing the thing. But what happens on YouTube? Is it on YouTube? Like for free? A lot of it. Okay. I think people have kind of gotten around like having been able to upload stuff. I've seen a lot of clips when I'm making like clips on like of for stream. I haven't seen actually like SpongeBob on YouTube. I wonder if the kids even have access to like these old episodes. Um, but yeah, just wanted to look up fiction stuff today. And talk about sharing updates and stuff in regards to housing stuff, which hasn't been great, unfortunately. I mentioned, well, if you follow me on Instagram, I didn't post it in Discord, of course, but I mentioned on Instagram yesterday, the day before, even more than that, really. We have been trying to track down our caseworker for a long time, and she's been kind of ducking and dodging us. We finally managed to get a meeting with her on Friday, and she came to the meeting like full cunt, like fully like, ins- uh, okay, um, and fully like prepared to kind of be a bitch about it, and which we already knew what the fuck was up, and we kind of already decided we were really pissed, of course, leading up to this day, but we kind of were like, is it worth our time to try to talk to these bitches? Like, is it really worth our time to try to like convince them of anything? And like, if they're gonna kick us out, they're gonna kick us out anyway, like whatever. And basically, despite all of this shit, we basically talked to her, and she basically made it clear that we would not be able to like appeal our this 2 week notice situation, which is welcome. The staff members told us we could, but like I guess far be it from me to actually believe they know what they're talking about because they don't most of the time. Um, but basically, like, and basically they said that they kept the decision to like kick us out and give us a 2 week notice because we don't have any barriers to housing, and so basically our beds could better be utilized to people who actually need housing and who need that support. And I'm kind of just like, that's crazy because like majority of the time people are getting kicked out. They're getting kicked out for whatever other random, stupid, incessant shit, rule breaking, whatever. We didn't do any of that shit. But we also weren't informed of why we're being kicked out. And basically they gave that decision, which she kept trying to tell us like, oh, it was just me who decided this, it was the shelter manager. And I'm kind of like, why am I supposed to give a fuck? Like, and she also mentioned like, oh well, if you guys aren't happy with that, or basically if you want to like whatever, talk to people, talk to somebody about it or something, you could talk to the shelter manager. And I'm just like, yeah, if I can track her the fuck down, please stop playing. Like, please get the fuck out my face. Anyway, um, basically, the meeting did not go well because we basically ended up just walking out. But also, she was on some fuckery, basically telling us that like we didn't do anything wrong. You guys didn't do anything wrong. Which I'm just like, yeah, of course I didn't fucking do anything wrong. Why do you think I'm fucking here and confused? Like, anyway, but that basically because we both have jobs, we're working consistently, which I'm like for 3 months, I have like less than 10 paychecks under my belt. I'm expected to now no longer be homeless. Like, hey, welcome in, Ninth. Welcome in. Good to see you. Oh, you also have the 2023 badge. Did I miss out on the badge? Is there something I'm supposed to do to get the badge? I looked at my Twitch recap. I don't know. I think I missed out on it. Anyway, welcome in. Oh, your name color is interesting. Like an orangey like tan. Hey, welcome in. We're talking about we're talking about our situation here at the shelter, which is coming to an end very soon, as in like in the next 4 or 5 days. Unfortunately, I'll fight Twitch gods to get you a badge. I would love to get a badge, to be honest. What badge do I have? Oh wait, I can only see the little name by my. I have a little camera or whatever. Cause I guess I'm broadcasting. I also have my own little Twitch badge. That just means we spent a lot of time watching streams last year. Oh, is that what that means? Oh, I feel like I watched a lot of streams last year too, but I don't think I watched a lot of streams last year. Hmm. Let's see. I think mine combined was 800 hours. Oh, I never looked at my. Hold on. I actually have the tab open. Hold on. I don't think I ever looked at my. Oh, no, that's not the. My Twitch recap. Oh no, no, no. This is my own personal recap. I'm trying to find my viewer recap. Hold on. Can I do that? We looked at my personal like my streamer recap on stream, but oh here it's right here. Hold on. Ooh, okay, let me see. Let me see. Here, let me open it up for y'all. Y'all see still? No, you can't. Ah, wrong button. Sorry. Okay. But let's see. It means I have no life and live online. Well, join the club. Oh shit. Oh, look, see what kind of categories I was watching. Okay, okay. Okay. All right, let me see this real quick. Um, my combined was 800 hours. Okay, viewer. Oh, let's see our community one. All right, all right. Okay, so my high score in 2023. Hours watched, 786. Ooh, I almost had 800. Distinct days visited, 324. Yo, that's like almost the whole entire year. I bet you those last like 30 something days, not 30, those last however many days on which I visited stream or Twitch and where it fell off. I could have had 365, but the last 40 or something, not 40, yes, something days, probably because I was living in a shelter toward the end of the year. And so I just couldn't like watch streams and shit anymore. But 786 hours watched, 324 distinct days visited. Oh, I lied. Huh? Probably have more than me, to be honest. Let's see. You couldn't get enough of these categories. Dead by Daylight. Okay, I was watching a lot of Dead by Daylight. 1,500? 1,500! Whoa! I didn't know you could even get that many hours. I mean, I guess there's more hours in a year, so it makes sense. Wow, that's wild. Whoa. 1,500 hours. Damn. Let me think. I was watching streams like on my phone mostly, and so I would like just of course end up closing the app to do something else. But then I was also watching streams on like PlayStation and shit sometimes just on my TV. If I swear, if Roku had a Twitch app like on their TVs, which they fucking refuse to have, I would have watched so much more streams. Like seriously. But my category, okay, top category, top 10%, Dead by Daylight, which I'm not surprised by. I found a lot of new streamers who streamed a lot of Dead by Daylight, but also they had a lot of like updates and things coming out. I watched I watched you I watched you got 228 of them. 228 of what? Of all the hours that they viewed, you got 228. Oh. Your streams. Oh, I see. Oh, that's cool. Wow. 228, it's a lot. I would like to see the math on like how many hours. I think I probably just I'll check my other thing. I'll check my streamer recap later or after this. But I would love to know how many hours I actually streamed because I was streaming pretty consistently for like almost a whole year. Even after Twitch suck. I literally like the Switch app for Switch. The Switch app, Twitch has a Twitch app where you can view streams, but it is extremely limited. All the console ones are kind of limited, but especially the Twitch one, or especially the Switch, oh my god, one, because it crashes. It will literally just crash and say, "Oh, this app couldn't like, work, whatever." And I haven't experienced that with any other apps ever. Like, and the Twitch one, the Switch one will just like, it will just like, it made it impossible to like watch streams because it would continually crash. And I actually like the Switch one a lot, but it's not as good quality like visually as the PlayStation 4 one. So I usually use the PlayStation 4 one, but that one I'm not as familiar with the typing like functionality, and so I just end up trying doing a lot of lurking on there, which kind of like sucks. But yeah, I really did like using the consoles and stuff to watch Twitch streams. Like I'd watch those probably usually in the nighttime and stuff too. Um, but I was watching a lot of Dead by Daylight streams. I think I was watching like Miss Judy Gay Jones and let me think. She had recommended people. I think sometimes Leash. I didn't watch a lot of Leash Capiche, but she was streaming Dead by Daylight a couple times. I did not really be into it, but then I got into like reading Dead by Daylight fan fiction, and so I was like, I need this for research purposes. No, but I also just like I and I started watching some people who were like streaming. I don't really watch Leash's streams like a lot anymore. Um, but I think it was Judy Gay Jones. I watching her streams a lot because she streams at night, of course, and so I was up super late oftentimes, and so I'd be watching her streams, and then some other people who she had in her streams who she'd recommend. And then I'll start looking for other people in other categories. I also watching Jermeeth and Jermeeth streams Dead by Daylight sometime. I think I started following Jermeeth for Dead by Daylight stuff usually. I think that we had rated with Judy Gay Jones into Jermeeth streams. Hmm. I was on top 10% of viewers for all 5 categories listed for me. Oh, am I? Oh, I am. Ooh, wow. Which was just chatting, Fortnite, Sims 4, art, Resident Evil 4, solely from Bushy. Oh, okay. I was like, okay. Oh, art? Oh, interesting. I wonder what artists we were like viewing. Fortnite, okay, makes sense. Sims 4, right. And Resident Evil 4. Oh, okay. Huh. Oh, cool. Let's see, Dead by Daylight, just chatting, which makes sense because I kind of like the default category. So the fact that I watch more Dead by Daylight than just chatting is like, wow. I guess really enjoyed that game. And I never played it, and I don't think I ever will. You and Mono. Huh? Oh, right, that makes sense. Oh, welcome in, Corpse. Welcome in. Oh, I was about to mention, like, if y'all weren't there, like, oh my god, how many days ago was it? Was it last weekend? I think. Corpse streamed some of the like part 1. I think there's like technically like it's like at least when I watched Han stream it was like a 2-parter sort of situation. But Corp streamed like part 1 of the Touch Starved demo, which apparently is very fucking long. The Touch Starved demo in Discord. It was super fun. I'm not reading. I know, girl. Like I just got into like I just finished a book actually. Which hold on, let me post in the chat. Let me go ahead and give myself a little bit of good energy because I don't be reading. I haven't reading like that at all. Like I stopped reading for aside from fan fiction and shit for like a long while, and like so, huh? And manga, I guess, but mostly like just fan fiction. 'Cause I wasn't really reading manga either. For a while, for years, but haven't read it in a while. And I picked up a book because I work at the library, and because I work at the library, we be shelving books, and we happened to pass by a book that was called The Dragon's Bride, and it has like a picture. I'm not gonna. It's fine. I'll probably bring up the cover or whatever later, but it had a picture of a girl and some dragon, and I was like, "Ooh, it's really monster fuckery." And so I like picked it up on my break and had to read it, and didn't love it necessarily, but I'm like, from reading so much fan fiction, I've gotten in the habit of like, okay, fine, I will continue to read this with the promise of smut. And there was certainly a well promise of smut, monster fucker, like what was it, two dicks, like all these categories that was like actually like, okay, I'll keep reading for this. I didn't love the story necessarily, didn't love the execution and shit, but I'm like, it's a promise of smut. I'll go ahead. And so I actually finished the book, and I was like, oh, okay, fine, I finished a book, work. And now I got some other books that I had purchased a couple years ago, not a couple years ago, sorry, a couple months ago from the library, and then like another book I checked out that I'm like actually gonna be like reading. So I'm excited for that. But yes, welcome in, Corpse. We're doing all right, to be honest. I keep jumping back and forth because there's so much that I want to cover. But we don't have a lot of time tonight, unfortunately. We have to end stream at like 4 or something, and I had to run late because of a bunch of other things happening and shit. But I mentioned before, we got a 2-week notice, and so we don't really have a place locked in yet. Obviously, you can imagine most people who are being forced out of their living situation in less than 2 weeks notice don't really have a lot of places locked down. But us in particular, we don't really have that like for sure, for sure. So that's really like frustrating and disappointing. But let me go. Hold on. Let me go back into the OBS. I really can't see shit. I'm just looking at the screen. And literally the reason why. Hold on. Let me go ahead. And the reason why we are getting kicked out is not because we didn't do anything wrong. We talked to our caseworker yesterday, and it was some bullshit. She told us that we didn't do anything wrong. We didn't do anything wrong. She kept trying to reaffirm that. Ooh, a Seeking. I haven't seen a Seeking in so long. But we didn't do anything wrong. Like most people get kicked out because they didn't do X, Y, and Z. They didn't meet this goal. This goal. Well, I have not caught a Seeking in this. I don't think I've seen a Seeking in Pokemon community game at all. Ooh, nice. But basically, we were told that we were essentially being kicked out because we have no barriers to housing. And like what made them make that decision is we had a meeting with our caseworker a couple weeks ago, by the way. So she could have informed us at any point in time, or just said flat out like, okay, well that's gonna mean X, Y, and Z. Basically, they felt we don't have any housing because we've been working for 3 months. We've been working for literally like 3 months now. We've been living for 4 months and working for 3 months. And because I'm working for 3 months consistently, part-time job, by the way, part-time hours. Like, yeah, I'm making the fucking dough, girl. That we are essentially in a position where we are like struggling for housing, and we don't have limitations like prior evictions, which we do have limitations because we've only rented one particular apartment, and that lease ended because they chose not to renew it because we fell behind like on our rent the whole entire lease, and that does not look good. And so when they look at, well, not the entire lease, but when they look at like that kind of shit, look, other properties can reach out and be like, hey, would you recommend them? And they're going to, of course, mention that. And that is a limitation for us. Like, so far, we've applied to apartments we've been approved. One apartment we were only conditionally approved, which means like, yeah, sure, you have to pay a higher security deposit. And that security deposit was like a whole month's rent. And so trying to pay a whole month's rent on top of a whole month's rent, like, we don't have it like that. Like, let me be clear. I've been saving up plenty of money, saving up lots of money toward movers, toward a security deposit. We've been doing that. To be honest, we've been saving up for movers longer than we've been saving up for a security deposit. And even beyond that, we've been saving up more money toward, like, we've put aside more money to, like, hire movers to move us than we have even for a security deposit. We only started recently saving toward a security deposit, like, a month or so ago, because we literally didn't have any sort of housing, like, locked in. So it was kind of just like, I don't know how much my security deposit is going to be, girl. I can tell you right now, my security deposit, and my in my mind, that was not going to be $1,000 something. That was going to be maybe 500 or something, or 400 or whatever, which is much more doable, as you can imagine. Regardless, we also have had much significantly smaller paychecks because in January we stayed sick. I did the math. I looked back at my calendar. I worked 7 days in January. 7 individual days is what I worked because we had Arctic temperatures that essentially barred us from going to work, whether that be because our company had to close down because it was too dangerous or because the buses weren't running. We also had norovirus at the beginning of the year. As soon as the new year started, I got norovirus. I was out for like a week or more. And then I got the flu. Me and Tara both had the flu. We both had norovirus and the flu, which essentially fucked up our actual ability to make any money. Really, we're being less than half of our normal paychecks, which drastically lowered our ability to save money, put money towards savings. That would have essentially allowed us to afford a security deposit. Also, it was January. People's leases were ending. They had a lot of apartments open. They had move-in specials, and that was something that we really want to take advantage of. But we were sick for almost all the month. Not to mention we're getting like a lot of bullshit and heat from like staff for no fucking reason. We already knew they're gonna try to start making moves to put us out or something. So it was no surprise when we received this notice. We were gonna be trying to leave in the next 2 weeks anyway. But to be told basically that like, well, basically you need to get the fuck out because there's no reason you to stay here. This bed could be used for people who actually need it is like actually like fucking bonkers. Like to be told that a homeless person who's been homeless for like 5 or almost 6 months and like have nowhere else to live is basically like, yeah, you're in too good of a position. You're doing too well for yourself. Like you need to go. Like she actually had to tell us that they essentially proved that we proved their point because we gave you guys a 2 week notice and now you got secured housing. And like, no, I fucking haven't. I have a fucking tour lined up and I applied for a place, but that doesn't mean I actually have it. Like, and also beyond that, like what does that mean for like my actual ability to survive like outside of this? Like, y'all assume that because you've housed me and fed me for the past few months that I'm gonna get out of here and be able to bounce right back or something. Which I will the fuck do that. Let's believe it. Y'all don't have to worry about me. But like, there are the people who have left the shelter and come right the fuck back because y'all are really forcing them out into whatever situation. I just wonder why so many people I would see who like they'd be around the shelter, they would get jobs, and I wouldn't see them as much anymore. And then Monday they'd just be gone, never come back, disappear. I just wonder why. And it's because it seems like when people get a good job or get something good lined up for themselves, that they basically determine that, oh well, you're doing well enough, you get the fuck out, and basically give them a 2 week notice. Basically, say you need to leave. Like I'm not surprised, but like for the fact that they sort of justify that by also giving a bunch of other people, like 25 people in total, received 2 week notices around a shelter. I'm kind of just like, wow. Like, and the way that they don't even know our situation though, like they assume that like, oh, you guys are in a position to do that. I mean, luckily I've been saving up money, but if I wasn't saving any money and I had no money to even put toward a security deposit, I was relying on my next few paychecks to do that. Which I mean, for the most part, I'm kind of relying on my paychecks to do that. That puts a lot of problems in my lap and put a lot on my plate, like as you can imagine. And right now we're just in a position where we just don't even want to fucking be here no more. Like if it's really gonna be like that, like if you're really gonna fucking put me out on the street and deny me access to housing because I'm doing too well for myself, I'm gonna do even worse out there, by the way, when I actually have to pay rent and other bills and shit too. Like, for my best belief, we're gonna do fine. Like, but generally by that logic, it's just like, well, you guys are doing okay. Like, I'm doing okay because I don't have other things to pay for. But like when I actually have to pay for things, that's gonna be a problem. Regardless, um, we are also in a position. It's weird because we've been sick, so our paychecks and our all those pay stubs and stuff like that look real bad or not looking too good. We had a tour yesterday, and the guy was like confused. Like he was asking us questions about like, oh, I want to make sure you guys aren't going to be struggling to pay rent and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, what do you mean? Like we'd be fine. My paychecks and my pay stubs looks like shit because we've been sick for the past few months. Like my first ever pay stub from the library was shit because I worked like maybe 2 days because of the weather and because we were sick. And then even my last one wasn't that good either. It was like half of what I would tend to be like making. And so it's kind of like, yo, there's a lot more limitations to being homeless and getting to a place than you anticipate. And it doesn't help that this funky ass shelter, essentially gave us norovirus and the flu all in the same month. And we had like horrible temperatures, which essentially barred us from being able to actually like work our jobs anyway. So like you're really choosing to kick us out at the worst possible time. And no, we do have sick time at our jobs, like, but sick time doesn't actually like we don't actually get paid. Well, actually, we don't have sick time, I guess, in that regard. We are allowed to like, not go into work and stuff, but like we don't really have like paid sick days, like sick leave or whatever. That's not a thing that we have at our jobs. For the most part, we're part time at all of our jobs. And so that might be something that's maybe offered to full-time workers, but like that's just not an option. And even if it was, we've been sick quite a bit. Like we were sick for essentially a whole week plus from the flu, and then we also like just didn't have any sort of like there was no way to essentially avoid most of these sicknesses anyway. And especially with having norovirus, which seems to be something that's a lot more frequent and common, especially in the wintertime. Like it's just really frustrating because we've done everything we should have done, and in addition to like keeping ourselves safe and masking up and social distancing, and we still end up getting sick. And then this is the hand we get dealt. So it's like very frustrating. And as you can see, I have a coffee goal here, which is a temporary housing fund. Me and Tara are trying to raise money so that we can like afford to find something temporary, like a hotel to stay in. Because while this, I mean, essentially we're getting kicked out on like the 15th, so like in a couple of days, and we are trying to make sure we can have somewhere to be and to go if we don't find an apartment by then. If we don't find an apartment by them, which I mean, this last place we just looked at, we toured, and the place looked horrible. So unfortunately, that's not really an option. But we're looking at other places and stuff, and we're kind of like unfortunately having to, some of our needs like finally the cats have calmed down. I'm livid and, and unsurprised. Yeah, I agree. Like I'm essentially disappointed, of course, because we have been doing everything we need to do, and it's kind of like silently, essentially, gritting our teeth and having to deal with so much bullshit of living in the shelter after having come to staff and to our caseworker about so many issues they kind of refuse to actually fix. We've had to kind of deal with that and just like basically get used to it. But then basically you decide to kick us out. It's kind of like, well, you're kind of like she was like clearly mad or whatever. Like clearly this woman, she was cool with us when we were like willing to be walked all over and do what we're supposed to be doing. But as soon as we expressed any sort of level of anger and disappointment, and we essentially like put our, I mean, would grind our heels to the floor and basically were like, I'm not moving, I'm not doing this. Like I refuse to do my chore because they literally refused to actually ask somebody else to help me with it. Like it was their job. Then like they basically since then she's been very trying to be very kind of cold, very distant from us. Like clearly she knows that we like weren't about that shit. We weren't about to let the people like do us like that. Welcome in, Zen. Thanks for the alert. Welcome in. But like, yeah, like once she kind of realized that, it became clear that Mix Up was lagging for some reason. Mix Up acting a little funny lately. But it became clear that she was not really trying to like see it for us like that, and was basically like on her way to like getting us out of here. Like since that day, that was like in December, like around Christmas time and shit. And might I add, she'd been gone for like a whole like week or two, and we had not been able to talk to our caseworker who was supposed to advocate for us in a major way. And basically, like that was like so she basically got to talk to us on the heels of some fuckery, and we were not with the shit, and we were heated for obvious reasons. And like even then we wanted to leave. We didn't have the means to. Obviously, we started working in November. December was not the time to be doing that. Not to mention the weather and shit. But like it was really truly crazy. Like it was really insane the way that they like tried to. She tried to convince us that they're doing something good for us. Like she said, "Oh well, no, this is a good thing." Basically, giving us a 2 week notice. Basically, essentially, it's supposed to, and basically like it's supposed to light a fire under our ass and it's supposed to get us to like find something quickly, and like finding housing quickly does not actually mean it's adequate housing. It also sometimes just means desperation. There are people who get kicked out who aren't in our position, who don't have jobs, who haven't been working for the past 3 or so months. There are people who are women who are disabled, who literally, haven't they're expected to put money to savings, and basically they were in their goal in time or something like that, and so they're being kicked out. Like all kinds of shit. Finding housing doesn't quickly happen. Yeah, exactly. That does not happen. Like literally, even I'm positioned now, like when we tried to find something quickly, we looked at an apartment complex over here. It was like pretty cheap, and it was pretty close to, bus stops we could take to work. The place was like honestly like slummy. Like the property management themselves, the company and stuff for themselves are great, but like imagine getting someone out of a homeless shelter. Like the fuck, you're there for a reason, literally. Like that's what's fucking getting me. Because when we first got here, we were sitting there in the dorm on like a weekend when the dorms are open, and they kicked the woman out. Like they literally like came with police officers, and like they, by the way, they do this without no notice to anybody. They know there is no like, hey, you guys leave to get some privacy. It's essentially like, yeah, basically you need to leave. Your caseworker told us your caseworker made the determination that you need to leave, and it's not basically not you should not continue living here. And basically she's like, well, where the fuck am I supposed to go? Basically, it was like, well, that's not a problem. Like, and like, what's crazy is that the same people who are doing all this shit will literally sit here and like I kind of be in your face and be your friend and be cool with you. But since we got this 2 week notice, even before we got 2 week notice, they have been like ducking us and dodging us. They have literally been like acting weird and kind of distant and shit toward us, not making conversation and whatever. And I knew something was up. I knew something was off already. But like ever since then, I've had this inkling feeling that they're going to try to do the same thing to us, or like kick us out, whatever like perceived grievance of, oh, you did something, or your maybe your caseworker didn't go well, so she decided that you guys shouldn't be living here anymore, type shit, or basically decided to kick you guys out into the street, type shit. And what I'm trying to avoid doing is having to take all my money out of my savings and put that toward a hotel stay, though it could like it could help. I don't want to do that because this money that we put toward that is supposed to go toward movers and shit, and so that's why we have our temporary housing fund here. We've raised like almost like a little bit less than $100 so far. But if folks are, I guess, interested in contributing, let me see. Is this the command? Okay, yeah. Then I hit my coffee link here. We haven't made a post on social media yet about this because obviously we just got this news, and so we're trying to like kind of get our shit together. We have moving bags. Luckily, I purchased moving bags like a week or more ago before we got this notice. Um, and like, by the way, we got the notice 2 weeks ago, or almost 2 weeks ago, and we only just met our caseworker literally yesterday. So like that really helps us be able to make housing plans and prepare to like evacuate this place as soon as possible when we essentially weren't able to speak to the bitch for like more than a week into this time. But regardless, so yeah, not in a great place, but we're actually working on trying to raise money so that we can get into a hotel. And we don't know how long we'll need to stay there. I know when we were living in a hotel before we got here, because we were living in a hotel before we got here, it was like what? Okay, say when you're done. Okay, you can move this side. But either way, it was not the cheapest and shit. And so we're trying to kind of anticipate how much we need to spend. Also, trying to figure out what hotel we can stay in that is close enough to work, because now we have a lot more limitations in place. We can't just stay in a hotel and like, you know, do whatever. Now we literally have to like really have to go to work and still clock in, still do everything we're supposed to do. We've talked to our supervisors and our bosses about this, and they are aware of our situation, which I love having to disclose being homeless. Not necessarily I'm necessarily like ashamed of it, but like it's something that most people would necessarily would want to hide, want to keep private because it's their personal life. But like we've been like whatever about it because most of the people who at least at our one job already knew, like our supervisors and shit already knew that. At least they could have grasped that. That was a Burmy in chat, a bagworm Pokemon. Hold on. Hope it links it up. Oh no. Maybe I can't do that. Anywho, you can sit if you want to. You can move the backpack. Oh, okay, that works. But basically, it's been like very frustrating, and like you can take the mic. It's been very frustrating, and we're trying to figure out like something temporary so we can get the fuck out of here, but also so that we can like, prepare to move into a new place. And part of that is going to be like having to lower our expectations a little bit. Karate said hi tier. This part of that can be lower our expectations a little bit. We've been really have had really high standards to not end up in a slum house or a roach motel. And so those standards have been looking at reviews and reading good reviews about property management and then looking at photos of the property. And unfortunately, we kind of recognize what our priorities are. And our priorities right now are moving into an apartment that looks nice, that and it's in a safe-ish area. As we looked at today, last night, yesterday, not safe. Unfortunately, not a great area. Also, the place was dirty. Yeah, it was dirty, weird, but yeah. And so that's our priority. We're trying to be like moving into a place that looks nice, that is in a relatively safe area that's close to the bus stops, so that we can get to work. That's just it. That's just it. Like I'm just hoping you can avoid roaches, bars, and hell. Like literally, having to hope that we don't have to engage in roaches and other stuff like that. It's crazy. Hold on. I got something to say. No way to cough until I get the mic. Um, for those that are curious about why or have suspicions as to why we're being kicked out, honestly, the way that I see it, we're getting kicked out of the shelter, out of that shelter. The way I see it is that the reason why they're putting us out, along with other people, but specifically us, is because, like Tiana mentioned earlier, we essentially do not have a lot of those things. We don't have a lot of those experiences that actually rake in the funding and the donations for them. They would love to be able to say, and when they have their tour guides come into our dorms when we're trying to sleep during the day, their tour guides are talking about, yeah, however many percent of these women have mental illness, and however many percent of these women have, addictions, and they're in the dorms withdrawing, and they're in the dorms, sometimes they're in the middle, they're fighting, and blah blah, all this other bullshit. There have never been fights, and there have never been withdrawals. Like this is a sober living facility, so you could literally already not have drugs in your system when you get there. I'd say obviously withdrawing obviously can take place after that too, but like that is not a thing that has happened here. So. And they sit here and ultimately because Tiana and I are not currently using drugs and not former addicts not currently
because
recovering from.
we're not currently in recovery from addiction. We are not former addicts. We are not we don't have any evictions because we are not felons, because we don't have a criminal history, because we can pass a background check with flying colors, because we don't have some of those like systemic barriers.
Aside from being black.
Aside from being, yeah, but that doesn't matter. They don't give a fuck about that because we don't have those things. They are kicking us out because they want people in those beds who they can scoop up and basically push to join their different recovery programs they have. They have different recovery programs that are associated with the shelter, and they make a lot of money from that too. Part of those recovery programs help fund the shelter and stuff like that. And so basically, we don't want to live in the housing that they offer.
Definitely upstairs from the shelter.
So we don't want to live in the housing that they offer.
It's a dorm room at best. It's not even actual housing.
We don't want to live in the housing that they offer. We don't want to live, or we're not recovering from addiction. And so we don't qualify for any of their programs. And so they're basically like, yeah, we want people in these beds that are actually making us money. It's actually a promise that we can get some money off of them. They're not making any money off of us. Essentially, all they're doing is housing us.
They're like, you're making more money than me.
And we certainly aren't. That's how they act. That's how they're treating us, though. You know, because we essentially don't have those specific limitations that line their pockets, that make them fat. Literally, that's why they don't want us there. And they didn't say that, but I know that. I know that. I know how this stuff works. I know how this stuff is operating. They're looking at their numbers because it is a numbers game, and they're looking at, you know, how much money they can make and, you know, what they can do with, you know, the different, you know, problems, the mess of the person that's in that bed. And they want bitches essentially basically telling us you're not, I want to say this without being like, without something offensive. Basically telling us you guys aren't like troubled enough. You don't have enough going on for us to benefit from you living here because, you know, we can't make enough money off of you. And so then they basically, you know, turn that into, oh, you guys are doing too well. You're doing so well. You know, we really need to motivate you guys to leave. And that's the word they use, which is so disgusting, is that they said, I was on Instagram Live last night talking about this. And they were literally saying like, oh, caseworker said, oh, you know, it's motivation. You know, we notice that when we give people 2 week notices, it motivates them to find housing. No. What the fuck are you calling it motivation for? Did you ask clients if they call it, they find it motivation? No, it's not motivation. They're trying to classify it as that when in reality it is desperation.
We've been consistently engaging with our caseworker and have been informing her of our efforts toward housing. And like part of that is literally like us telling her, hey, here's what we're doing toward housing. Here are the places we reach out to. Here's the applications that we've submitted. And so we've been actively working toward that. This whole like, well, basically, what they're not saying out loud, the quiet part they're not saying is basically, well, you pass up on an apartment, which we did pass up on an apartment, because sorry that I have the standard of wanting windows in my fucking bedroom. Sorry about that. Wow, like, but in addition to that, they also conditionally accepted us. They only accepted us on the basis that we would pay a security deposit that was equivalent to 1 month's rent.
We don't have right now.
Which we did not have that, nor do we have it right now anyway. And so we had to pay $1,000 something for rent and $1,000 something for like security deposit. We basically were like, well, no, it's not worth it.
$1,200 for a security deposit, $1,000 something for rent.
Like, literally, that is not. We don't have it like that, and that's something we're willing to do. And they said, yeah, no windows. One of the bedrooms had no windows, and basically their explanation is basically, well, first of all, it was an old building. They of course renovated into something. The other side of it is a health like juice bar type shit. They're on that like quinoa acai bowl type bullshit over there on the other side. So you kind of get the crunchy vibes that this place is giving off. And I'm sure the place looks kind of nice and stuff, but we saw like a virtual tour because the weather is so bad. And the place was very small, which did not work well for us. And they did not have much storage space. It's very like they kind of do trying to just vintage, like they still have exposed brick walls, which I hate, which I'm allowed to hate that shit too. And basically, what they're trying to do is make it seem like we are being too picky with our housing, and that which we knew all along, but that's like what they believe. You should have gotten to the first rat hole that you could afford and got the fuck out of here because you didn't. And you're being punished. That's essentially what's happening here. We should have jumped into, some of the apartments around here that are available that are like shitty and scummy. As long as it meant, you should be living in a housing tower where your like neighbors are scratching the paint off your door with their fingernails and all night long and shit. You should have been living in this horrible area because it meant you would have been out of the shelter, and that's all that matters. But what's wild is that they will really take your story, especially when people have these good stories. Where there's one woman who these two met here, and now they're living upstairs, and she's going on a cruise and shit, like all that stuff. Now they're taking people's stories and using it as like fodder for like, oh, it's so good living here, or we're so good to these homeless people. We're so good to these street crawlers and shit. Like it's wild because it's like you'll literally use their stories. If we end up in a good place in a great apartment, they would have literally been like, oh, look at these two. These they persevered, and they got jobs at amazing companies, and they volunteer like they and now they're living in a high rise off of I don't know whatever street and shit
The
downtown.
high rise. We're living in like a low income housing tower in a
Yeah.
project, and they're literally like, it's a high rise close to downtown. Like, oh my gosh, go them. We loved them.
Go
Don't know
you.
their names. They can't pronounce their first names. But go them. Go girls. Girl power.
I mean, they literally do that trauma porn success story bullshit. They said it. They say it in their literally say it in their like tours. They brought some
Their poverty tours.
they brought elementary school kids into the dorm yesterday while I was like sleeping. And I'm like, I can hear her talking to children, and the kids are walking through, and they're basically like saying like, she was saying that, oh, I spent 99% of the women who live here, not a correct statistic, have come from some form of trauma. And I'm like,
Everyone has been traumatized.
we all experience trauma. That you think trauma is the thing that gets us into a homeless shelter? I've also heard one woman say who does a tour, say that like they're the lady who was sleeping in bed who they're like pointing at and engaging with, who has been using a wheelchair for a while, like who had her leg amputated like at her shin, and basically saying like, oh, she unfortunately got sick, and she was really sick for a long time, and she lost her leg, and now she's used a wheelchair, and she didn't get up and decide to do meth one day, and I'm like, that's
We heard that bitch
fucking
literally say that shit.
wild.
We literally heard it. This woman is literally she's
Former
literally-
addict, by the way. She was in the addiction program that they had, the drug addiction program, whatever they
that
have there.
the shelter.
And I'm kind of like,
This woman
wake up and decide to do
literally
meth
said-
one day?
This habitually said, yeah, not everyone who's here just woke up and tried to do meth one day. I'm like, did you wake up and decide to do meth? And the thing is that her name rhymes with meth too. I want to say it so bad, but anyway.
Anyways,
That is so fucking disgusting and ugly. Like,
yeah, it's very stank. Yeah, and these are elementary school kids. And so to be telling them that like, oh, because some of the kid mentioned like it was the dorm and then the lights were off and it was dark, and they're like, oh, it's very peaceful in here. And she's like, yeah, no, it's not usually peaceful. You have women who are coming from different backgrounds, and basically that there are women who are who just got out of like escaped abusive situations, and there are women who are active withdrawing, and so people can be really cranky and they can really be really whatever. I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Telling people that there are women who living here who are literally withdrawing from drugs and
little
alcohol.
children.
Like, are y'all for real right now? Like, these bitches are busted. Like, come the fuck on now. Like, I bet elementary school kids are Christian school. They do a lot of Christian schools. When they have had, not like public schools, they brought like a lot of like really private, like Christian, like Catholic type, I don't know, schools into the shelter to like volunteer to do things. Even then, they keep them at kind of an arm's length. They kind of keep them away from like a lot of people. Like, have them sitting with these old ladies and other shit like that, like the safe residents or something. I say people are unsafe necessarily, but not everybody, of course, is in a great place. We're literally all homeless, so
They keep them away from us.
sorry, girls. Like, and now they've
Yeah,
never
they
these
do it
women,
from the
by the
outside.
way, who do all this PR stunt shit and who do all this like tours and did not speak to us. They probably don't know my name. I don't know all their names. I don't speak to them. I have always been super like around them. and they try to say hi, whatever. Like, don't speak to me because you would love to know my story. You would love to capitalize off of it. You would love to be able to say, oh, she was a really prolific artist, and she had a amazing career, and this and that. Like, there's so many great things they could say about us, and how like, oh, we live here in a shelter now, and they fell on hard times, and the COVID pandemic made so they couldn't go to school. Like, they could really know our whole story and shit, and want to put that shit on a fucking trophy on a pedestal, and still decide to treat us like this. And I never. I always kept my distance from these people because I knew the fuck was about to happen. Make yourself feel like a good person. Spits on the ground. Exactly, bitch. Sure. I woke up one day and decided I was an addict. Yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
I decided I want to throw like years of my life away by like developing an addiction to whatever substance. I decided that myself. Like, yep, all these women here decided that. All the women and men here decided that they wanted to destroy their lives and their families' lives by developing an addiction of some sort. Or all these women decided to enter a relationship that was abusive, that was going to force them into like years of trauma and shit, and years of counseling and like lack of housing. All these women decided to just be, sex trafficked or whatever. Yeah, all that happened. Yeah, it was always a choice. It was always intentional. It's wild. At best, the staff gaslighting themselves. At worst, well, yeah, literally, like as Tom Ford success story. Yep, 2 weeks. They know there's a massive chance people won't find housing in that time. That's so it's not motivation. And the thing is, like, they constantly got off on being like trying to assert that they're the best shelter in the city, and that would threaten that like if we didn't want to be here, they would find somewhere else for us to go, as in transition us to a different shelter. Which a lot of the other shelters in the city are like horrible, like in the way that like it's like 60 people in bunk beds to one gigantic room, and like they're even more like dehumanizing and strict like
And they're
rules in place.
And they're not dry. They're wet
And they're
shelters.
wet shelters, which mean people who are actively still doing drugs in the shelter, or people who are actively still on drugs are in the shelter as well. And that track, toxic Christianity uses fear of bad people or bad choices to try to force certain behaviors. That part, literally. And so you're trying to enforce or convince children that, like, oh, just don't be like them. Which I'm just like, they should hope to be like me. These bitches would wish they could be like me. That's the wild
Period.
part. It's like, bitch, I'm sitting here in a homeless shelter. I got a fucking PR box from fucking Disney. I got a fucking PR box that I would want to unbox on stream if I wasn't getting kicked out in like the next few days. I was unboxing on stream today and talking a little bit more about that influencer like opportunity or influencer thing I'm doing, and how I'm about to go see the fucking Lion King for free. Me and Tara are about to go see the Lion King at the end of the month. Now we're in this weird spot. We don't even know if where the fuck we're gonna live. But like beyond that, I'm like, bitch, am I supposed to be like, am I supposed to feel bad about myself? I'm not. Like, I'm literally that bitch. Like, how the fuck am I supposed to? Y'all trying to convince me that we are like too capable. Ooh, the Purloin in chat. That's a funny name. Is this cat wearing a dress? What's going on here? Kind of weird. I don't think I've seen the Pokemon up close before. Oh, I've not caught this one. Edge, Ultra Ball. Yeah. But yeah, devious Pokemon. Yeah, it looks a little devious, I guess. But hold on. Let me scroll on here because OBS does not want to scroll up for me. These people are attempting some Beyond Scared Straight type thing with these kids. I don't know what the deal was, to be honest. It's like homeless shelter is not a squeaky clean place. There are children who live here, like of course.
Also, they shouldn't be. They honestly shouldn't even have. Parents are like putting their kids in danger by letting them even into that shelter, not because of their physical safety is at risk, but because their health is at risk. They're letting them into a dorm with a bunch of women that are in bed sick at that point in time, and they're women. Let me tell you. Actually, let me get that mic.
All right, here we go.
Give me that mic.
Might
Give me the mic.
might be hot.
Yeah, mic must be hot. I'm gonna start spitting. There is a woman who has been living here. I don't even know how long at this point. Like since like January or something, maybe. Who has? She is in the bed next to mine. This woman has COPD. She's had bronchitis since she came. She has asthma. She's old. She coughs all the fucking time really fucking loudly and really disgustingly, doesn't cover her mouth. And she smokes like multiple times a day. Like this woman literally is laying in bed on her ass, or she's getting up to go eat, go piss and leave shit on the toilet, or go smoke. A majority of the time she's getting up to go fucking smoke. This bitch literally, over this weekend, smelled so fucking horrific. Like the hottest piss and ass you've ever fucking smelled. Over the fucking, what's today? Saturday? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. She smelled so fucking bad, and she would not bathe herself because her reason being she felt like she might pass out in the shower. Which this woman came to the shelter from a assisted living facility. She needs to be living in an assisted living facility. There are multiple women who are living there at the shelter right now who should be living in assisted living facilities. They should not be living in homeless shelters where they cannot, if they cannot care for themselves, and they can. This woman literally, she could not clean herself. She also has incontinence, if that wasn't already obvious. She has incontinence issues, and so she's pissing on herself. She wears a diaper. She's shitting on herself. We can smell that. It smells fucking horrific. It was making it like really fucking hard for me to sleep. I gotta post this image in Discord. It's me, my maid. I'm in Discord because literally this bitch. I was like literally sitting up at night, like midnight, 1 a.m., just fucking pissed and just feeling like just feeling so fucking crazy. And because this bitch is literally smelling so fucking horrific and coughing, and of course the coughing makes it smell worse. And she's probably shitting and pissing while coughing too. And she literally, she. There are times in the middle of the night where she will not have pants on, and so you can see her in her bed in her diaper, and I could see her in bed, and there's actual like there's brown stains on the floor in front of her bed, like usually where she stands up. So she was getting. No, I'm not fucking lying. This bitch literally had gotten shit on the floor, and literally I can see the bottom of her feet because she's in bed next to me. When I get up and I walk past her bed, I can see the bottom of her feet. The bottom of her feet were already abused when she came here. She had like open sores on the bottom of her feet, like blood on her socks. Because as you know, people that cannot care for themselves can't bend over like that. Oftentimes their feet care is neglected, and so she had fucking shit on her feet, and so she had sores on her feet. She also had shit on her feet. I could see the bottom of her feet. I could see her heels, and her heels literally are brown from having shit on them. Like she stepped in shit because she did step in shit, and of course she stepped in shit probably when she got up and went to the bathroom. Got shit on the floor actually in the bathroom stall, which another woman had to clean up, and then basically walked it back into our dorm, back to her bed. That woman, and she sleeps next to me. And staff did nothing about it. And I've talked to staff. I talked to staff, my caseworker. I've talked to multiple people about her fucking stench, and they never did anything. Oh shit! Who got out of my?
This time.
What did it say?
It sounds like this woman smoking herself to death at this point because it's all she has.
Yeah, probably. And it's just crazy. A lot of the women there, not even women, even almost every single staff person there smokes. A majority of the people there, probably 95% of the people that live there or work there smoke. Almost every single person smokes at this shelter. There's a lot of old women there who have a plethora of medical conditions, and they all get up and get their asses up in the morning. The second they unlock them doors at 5 in the morning, they get up to go fucking smoke. When 10 p.m. comes around and they lock them doors and turn the alarms on, they are getting their last smokes in at 9:50 something. It's disgusting. And also, don't even get me started on fucking bleach because we can't even have bleach in a fucking shelter.
Bluff.
We cannot use bleach. Oh, okay. I'm not wearing my glasses. Okay, well, that's another thing that makes cleaning up women's shits and hot diapers and other disgusting shit even better is that they want to act like they're following this Clean Air Act. And so they're like, well, there are certain chemicals we can't use. And so those chemicals are literally bleach. Any cleaning product that you use, the pink stuff, Scrub Daddy, fucking O-Cedars, anything. You even fucking what's that one shit that's Pine Sol. Can't use that shit. Literally, you know what they let us use when they make us clean, which we have to do. The only cleaning products that we get to use are water, maybe hot. If it's working like it's supposed to, maybe it's hot water. We get to use water, some kind of a solution, like a pink cleaning solution, an orange cleaning solution, or water and a mixture of water and hydrogen peroxide. What?
Hold up. Why is Corpse's chat not showing up?
Yeah, why did I just saw it like
Yeah.
hold on.
I saw it in the chat bubble, but I didn't see it on Twitch. Well,
They aren't getting care. I'm not shocked. It says that living requires money. Yep. Cat Midwife says someone who went to Jesus camp to pray away the gay as a teenager can confirm for sure.
can confirm it said, and then serving, frankly, doing things they want to, doing the things they want to communities because it gets them into heaven. Some shit literally hasn't changed since Middle Ages of Christianity. Like literally hasn't. I need y'all to get a new book, get a new routine, girl. It's getting old. Okay. And now we're getting care. I'm not shocked. The living requires money. And I guess their only stipulation they say, I've heard of some tours, but never actually said it out loud, is that as long as you can go to the bathroom by yourself. Yeah, I know it does make it trying to sign too, because I saw your message pop up on in the bubble, like on the screen. I don't see it in Twitch. Like it did not
Not,
show up at all.
not this Donald Duck. Oh wow.
Not the, what? Oh girl, not this. Why are so many
Wow.
of them?
Wow.
But no. It's like it's wild. And like yes, they don't help her. They do not help her. There's actually one woman in particular who has similar issues or whatever, but she has like different like mental limitations. And so for her, they were willing to. She's been there for a long ass fucking time, and they're like willing to do certain things. Like they will literally. I've seen her kids who come into the dorm, grab her pissy and shitty bedding off, and like throw it into the washing machine for her. They're kind of like, why are you throwing her shit and piss covered her stuff into the washing machines that we have to use too?
And
Like,
staff never, and that's the thing, staff never does anything like that. I've only seen them do that for that particular woman. And she obviously she cannot care for herself. Multiple women I really cannot care for themselves in meaningful in a real way. And I mean, yes, this woman, she has there have been times where she has stunk to the high heavens. It just sucks. It really sucks being here. I'm tired. I've had a really shit day today and yesterday because of literally living in this fucking place. And we have to basically when stream ends, we're gonna basically go get some food and we're gonna go fucking probably have to, go back to the shelter, look at apartments tonight, hopefully, and basically apply for places. Maybe try to get a tour in if possible of some kind, or get some pictures from landlords at some of these units, over the next week, because Thursday is literally the day that we have to be out. And we also both work on Thursday. I work a 12-hour day on Monday and Tuesday. And so Monday and Tuesdays essentially are not available for me to like do anything. And what I don't want to have to do is cancel my one job. I'm working 6 hours. I mean, in the morning, I literally like that's the way I make a majority of my money. I do not want to have to cancel. I'd rather to cancel my shift on Friday so I can go to this fuck ass caseworker meeting. I do not want to have to cancel my shift on Monday or Tuesday. Have to deal with like apartment shit. But like it's only Saturday, so we have more days to be able to handle this shit. But like we are not in a great position to be trying to like to be getting kicked out right now. Like nobody ever is, but especially not us. And so it really fucking sucks. And like at this point, we're just trying to raise money so that they can help offset some of the costs we're gonna have to make to be able to go into a hotel or somewhere temporary. And to be honest, if we really had it like that, I would try to get to I wouldn't be waiting until I would love to not have to wait until Thursday to like get into a hotel. I'd love to get into a hotel now. To be honest, I would love to literally get the fuck out of here, get my shit, throw that shit in the back of an Uber or in a friend's car, and just get driven or dropped off somewhere. Like I would love that for me personally, because I do not want to continue living in a place where you continue to have the power to abuse me and to disenfranchise us, and then still sit here and expect us to be like grateful, to be understanding of the fact they're fucking kicking us out. America loves leaving our older adults to literally die and then blame it on disability because dying from a lack of accessibility is considered acceptable. Yes, literally that. And a woman, she left that, and I can't blame her for leaving. She left that facility because there are people who are in worse shape than her, because they let people like die. Some dude had developed sepsis because the lack of care that he was receiving there at that facility. And it's like, yeah, that's horrible. And the woman also, she does a lot. Like these people are not receiving adequate care. There are people who are also old and have very little money and are poor, whatever, and who don't have access like transportation. This woman who has she has very low vision. She can't see, and if she has to do anything, she really can't leave this place. And like she's asking that lady in particular to drive her places or to drive places to do things for her, do tasks for her. And the only way she's gonna get by is by people doing things for her because they have more access than she does. And that's really scary. It's honestly terrifying. And to think that there are people who are getting like kicked out of this place who need to live here, like us, but also who just need to live here, who have nowhere else to go and literally have no other options. Like, it's wild. If you ever have a high fever, you can't walk to the bathroom. You can't walk to the bathroom without feeling like okay, I'll let you finish. But like, yeah, that's just has to be terrifying, especially if you're living in a old folks home. I don't know what to call it. What's the a care facility of some sort? Assisted living facility. I'm just calling it old folks home. But like, then that's like terrifying to have to be dealing with some sort of medical emergency. Especially when you have to involve people who are staff, like literally living in a homeless shelter right now. If we have to involve staff and shit, like I really have to call EMTs or whatever because Tiara had fucking passed out, and having to rely on these like really like neglectful and uncaring staff members to be the ones to like essentially get her services and get her needs met. It was like, oh yeah, that was the moment for me. I was like, we need to get the fuck out of here because there's no way I'm gonna be fucking falling out and calling the police or calling EMTs, and these bitches are the ones who have to do that shit, like handle that.
if you ever have a high fever and can't walk to the bathroom without feeling like you're gonna pass out, please go to the ER. Sepsis almost took out my loved ones. Okay, that's good to know. But I've always been curious about sepsis and stuff like that. There's a while for where I was like, which I guess I'm like cured. I don't fucking know. There's a while where I thought I had like a UTI or something like that, and I literally like went to the doctor. They were like, "Oh, your urine test came back. Whatever, you got to do another urine test." But they like were really like neglectful and negligent and like fumbled shit so bad that I was just like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna stay home and whatever." I don't know. Symptoms went away, but for a while, for like a whole year, which was, like I think last year, I was like convinced that I was like, oh, my back pain, which is not a lot, but like I had a fucking kidney infection. I was gonna get sepsis.
Pain, man.
Not occasional. Anyways, I was like worried about my like health and stuff, my well being, and I was worried. And I started reading about stuff like sepsis, and I'm kind of like, ooh, mm-mm. No, my mom tried to sleep it off. If I hadn't dragged her to the emergency room, she would have died. Yeah, that's very, very terrifying. We call them care homes, even though many of the old people are also not being taken care of properly. Literally that. And also, a lot of the women who are living here, a lot of these older women should be living in, care facilities or whatever. But also, these care facilities aren't necessarily actually caring for people. Ironically, a woman who sleeps in the bed across from me works 60 hours a week at a old folks home at a care facility, and she's talking about how like the residents there complain about a lot of different things. She's like a nurse, and so she actually cares for them directly. But there are a lot of nurses who don't care about their job and don't really care about residents and are negligent. And also like their food, for example, like the person who's in charge of the food that they eat is also very like negligent and like how that affects residents. And she actually, well, I mean, she lives in a homeless shelter, so I'm sure she's more aware of that and maybe taking more time and care into that. But like this bitch is working overtime and shit. She's been working all weekend and sleeping all week to just get by and working 60 hours and stuff like that. Like, nah, this shit is not easy. And like, there are a lot of people who are in different positions. And even her position is different from ours, even though she's a nurse and she has, essentially high school education. There's women who live there who we know who have doctorate degrees and are still struggling with homelessness. Like to assume, to bring it back to our main point, to make the assumption that we should have been out of here by now and that we are in a good position to be able to make it out is like insane to me. Like it truly is like, I can't believe this shit. Like I really can't. Like, and I will not, like you're not gonna convince me that I did something wrong by having standards. You're not gonna convince me that I am a bad person or that I wasn't thinking clearly enough or I wasn't being considerate of their money or their time or their beds or some other fuckery because I decided that I didn't want to live in an apartment with a bedroom with no windows. Because I don't want to live in this apartment. I passed upon one place that was not an option for us already due to financial limitations. And then bitches think I got it like that. I think a bitch think I'm Michael Jordan. It's not adding up. Oh, it's Baneri in chat. Baneri. Do I have you, Baneri? I spelled it wrong. Hold on. No, oh my god, I did it again. Hold on. There. Do I have you, Baneri? I don't. Yeah, get my Pokeball. Poke catch. Ultra Ball. Ah, yeah. There. Okay. The idea that you both should be quote unquote out already can only be a thought from people that live in a fictional world. Like that's what's kind of crazy to me. And I'm like, I'm really so fucking tired of living in a situation in which people keep forcing us out of our homes and our comfort, our places of comfort or whatever. Not that this place was a place of comfort, because certainly fuck wasn't. I'm tired of being forced out of places before I'm ready to leave. In this situation, we were actually trying to get out, like racing, like actively making plans and to escape this place. And so to be told, like, oh, well, I guess it took too long. Like she actually told us, like, you guys been here for almost 5 months, and I'm like, I've been here for 4 months, bitch. 4 months. That's like, I forget, I paid twice a month. 4 months hasn't even given me 8 paychecks. I haven't been working for 4 months. I've been working for 3 or less months. That is not enough. That is not enough time, nor not enough time to get enough money to get the fuck out of here. And I'm be honest. I certainly felt the fuck wasn't spending all my money toward an apartment and shit. I'm putting $100 plus from every paycheck I've received toward housing. And we managed to save up, no, I guess I won't say the amount, but we managed to save up a good amount of money. But that still isn't enough time or effort, like enough time to be able to do that. Yeah, I do spend my money, going and getting food. I do spend money on, I don't know what the fuck was it. What did I buy recently? I bought some.
We did buy each other Christmas gifts.
Oh, I did. I was so neglectful of my living situation. I spent money buying my sister Christmas gifts, and oh yeah, I was so disrespectful and inconsiderate. I bought myself a new bra and shit. I bought myself something to hold my titties. Yeah, wow. And so inconsiderate of my living situation. I should have worked a little harder to get out of here. But at the end of the fucking day, bitch, you're not gonna feel bad about being a human being and spending my money the way that brings me joy. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna sit here and convince me that we are somehow like fucking like bastards or something, and that we are some horrible people
Not
because
bastards.
we decided to fucking like spend money on things. Like there's some people who in our position I'm sure would turn around on some job sell shit and be like, well, if I was in a homeless shelter and I had a job, I would have spent all my money trying to get up out of there. I would have spent all my every single dollar bill I would have spent would have been trying to get up out of here. I would have given myself until X, Y, and Z before I would ever consider buying somebody else a gift. Like fuck you. Like, bitch, we literally are choosing our joy every single moment of that time. You think I'm gonna neglect myself now by choosing a fucking a dumpster ass apartment? You really think that?
Niggas will be mad at us for buying socks. They'll be mad at us for fucking buying shit that, and they think that they will try to consider a luxury, like just normal ass things.
Like
A
literally,
pair of fucking leggings.
I had no money. I was weirdly surviving off mutual aid for the past however many years. And I get a job, I have extra money to be able to spend, not just toward like it's not like we've been even, and if I didn't save a lick, even if I didn't save a fucking dollar dime, bitch, I still would not deserve to be in the position that I am now. And we actually have been saving money. I've saving significant amounts of it. Even when we didn't really have it like that. And even when we still have to buy ourselves things. Being homeless, guess what? A lot of the women, even the homeless people who live here, they still have money. Best believe it. Don't ever believe that people who are homeless do not have some form of money when they live in these shelters. They have to. That's the only way to survive. The shelter is not providing us every single thing we need. They're certainly not. They'll literally throw at you from whatever little like freezer bag of deodorant and bar soap, and you're like, why do you think I've got sensitive skin? And they're just like, well, we'll see what we have. That's the best you can do. That's the best you can get. I think the most I got from these people was a tube of toothpaste at one point when I needed some toothpaste because I had to buy some more.
In a knit hat.
Literally, please fuck off. Like I think that most they given me, which was brand new, was like a pair of socks from some Dr. Scholl's socks. Wow, so nice. What a luxury. Bitches love to donate socks to homeless shelters for some fucking reason. Anyways, let me see. Hold on, let me keep reading. They're definitely accounting for illnesses spreading. And they don't. And they will have a mask mandate for like a couple days and not actually enforce it and then get rid of it. And when COVID was a thing,
Even the staff won't follow the mask mandate.
even staff don't stay masked up and shit. Staff have gotten COVID multiple times and given it to residents too. If you had saved every penny, doesn't mean an affordable and decent apartment would show up. You both deserve to live, literally. And I'm sitting here. I'm like, if I had saved every single dollar I got, oh, first I'd be will not be happy. I'd be much less happy. I'd be like,
we still get kicked out. They'd still kick us out.
and they'd still kick us out. And I still would not necessarily.
They would
I
still
could
kick us
have
out right now.
I could have saved like $6,000, probably not even that. $6,000. I haven't made $6,000 yet.
No, not
And still, does not mean I'd be able to find a place to live. That's just not the case. They're not these apartments aren't asking how much money do you have in savings. By the way, they're literally like, don't pay some look a little short. Sorry, like or even less than that. Sometimes they'll talk to the prior landlord and be like, never mind. Like, don't these people think, maybe we can have a better system within this one? Like, the system is there so broken too. Folks think that's just human nature, and we have to suffer to have good things that everyone should be entitled to. Things we have the wealth and resources to provide for people. Like, girl, there's some people with whole ass jobs. Like I said before, there's a bitch that walk around here with a doctorate degree. There's a woman who has a medical degree who's working in a long-term an old folks home right now, clocking in every fucking week and shit. Like, hello? There are people who have the means to get out of here. Doesn't mean they can. But I guess for them it's okay because they're disabled or because they have a history of felonies. And so they can't get into housing as easily. But because it's like from day one, there's a target on our back. And I realize that now. They actually, like, they're so appreciative of us because we did our chores and did things we were supposed to. And we even did extra and stuff, would volunteer for things. And we were always so considerate and so always so helpful because that's who I am as a fucking person. Obviously, y'all ate that shit up. Y'all love that shit when it's convenient for you. But basically, they decided at the last second that, well, basically from the day one when they found out that we didn't have, people were confused why we were living here. Because they were like, you guys don't have a history of addiction or alcoholism. You guys don't like have any criminal history. We don't have any criminal history. Everybody is confused by our story. Don't know why we're here. All the shit that they assume, and then we turn around and like before I even know it, we're doing well for ourselves for the most part. We're doing okay by having a part-time jobs, and we don't have criminal history and stuff like that. So they're basically like, well, you don't meet these different criteria. You don't need to live here. That's basically the determination they came to. And so they basically determined that we were doing good enough because of that, which is like fucking wild to me. Especially now, even with full-time jobs, there are still homeless people because apartments are so goddamn expensive. Yeah, COVID ate my savings and ate the savings of so many people. Literally did. I had savings. I had money set aside. Well, back before COVID began, no, I didn't. I was again living in a dorm. I did not. I barely had money. We were eating out of pantries and shit. We did not have the money to like afford anything. But after COVID, even when we lived in an apartment, I was still like I was doing commissions. I was doing art commissions throughout 2021, all 2021 basically. Like we had a little bit of job for a little bit, but for the most part, like I did art commissions. I had money set aside, money saved up, and guess what? When I lost that job and didn't have, and when I got burnt out and couldn't do art commissions anymore, no more savings. That all that savings and shit went right toward rent and toward all of our things we were needing. And then it went into 2022. We were having a fucking fundraise and shit. We're having to do mutual aid, and of course that you of course get tired and get burnt out from that shit too. But we have no other options and no other choices and shit. And now when we're in this position, it's just like, wow, it's wild to think that like these facilities here. I knew something was off. I knew shit was off since we got here. We've been complaining about the shit in the place since we got here. Like to really think that like we would get kicked out because we're doing too well for ourselves is like actually like you're fucking bugging. Like for real. Like this is some fuckery. It's some bullshit. I really am just like, wow. I honestly not surprised. Not I shouldn't be surprised and shit, but regardless, I'm still being affected and impacted heavily by this. And at this point in time, I have some apartments I'm looking at right now. Unfortunately, some of the places that we're looking at aren't necessarily the closest to us and closest to our job, so we have to figure out different interpretation methods and shit. We don't know a lot about the areas and everything, but like at this point, I'm just trying to move to a place that looks nice and that like it meets the bare minimum. That it looks nice
Because by it looks nice, that means we want to move into a place that has like at least some kind of updated appliances, at least recently updated appliances. I honestly didn't think the bar was that low until we toured our last apartment. We want to live in a place that like, has been like, hopefully like remodeled or something in the last decade. And we're not asking for too much. And I know to some folks, they're like, well, you should be ready to live in, where the fuck ever. And no,
I'm not.
and so no, we're not gonna do that.
Even if the option is
We're not.
even if the only option is the streets, I still don't want to live in a place that is horrible. Like literally, I don't want to sign into a 12-month lease to live with like fucking rat roaches and live in a place that I have to literally clean. The place that we were looking at yesterday, if we moved into this place, we literally have to scrub it down. We literally were looking. I was looking at the washer and dryer that is in the unit, and there is literally somebody's floss pick, like a dentistic floss pick, sitting in the washing machine, like in that little middle part where people usually it spins or whatever they usually put their detergent or something. I don't know. It was just sitting in there. I told the guy, and he like shoves his hand in there trying to kind of dig it out or whatever for a
I
while.
don't think he can figure it out.
Too comedically long, and I'm just like, this is fucking ridiculous. Also, there was a towel in the dryer. I'm just like, yo, what the fuck is why are y'all fucking for real right now? Like y'all think I'm supposed to live in this shit? I'm not doing that. Like, so tonight we doing. I had some places I've been looking at, some property management properties that they recommended to us, and I mean, we're to keep looking. And to be honest, we gotta start applying like fucking mad. Like whatever little bit of money I have right now, it's gonna have to go toward
Applications.
applying toward places. Hopefully, they do applications quickly and they don't take too fucking long, and we can get approved and can hopefully move in like right away. Like I truly hope that could be the case. And it's unfortunate that we have to be in a position to even be like, well, if the place looks nice, it's all that matters. I don't care if it is like, because I mean, we don't even have time to even do tours. We really have to work. I'm working 12 hours, Monday and Tuesday. I don't have time to like take off to even bother with like doing a tour and
It's
trying
unfortunate
to
that
schedule that shit.
we've been forced into such a desperate situation, and so much of our time got wasted. Our caseworker literally wasted our time. Literally so much of our time got wasted because we're waiting to meet with her so we could try to like what a fucking con.
Yeah, that was a fucking waste of time and shit. You deserve more than livables, especially since you're paying for it, literally. And these landlords be keeping security deposits without even cleaning after residents leave. Literally, like they didn't even clean. That resident lived there for 5 years. He said that's something they try to boast about. Where it's like, oh, they live for residents who stay here live here for a long time, and it's like, yeah, because they're receiving like most people who are the particular unit we're living in was an accessible unit for people who are disabled and are using a wheelchair usually, and like that is likely because the person was able to do that because they were being able to sustain themselves off of whatever like Social Security or whatever like disability benefits they were able to receive. But if you guys raise the rent, then shit like that happens. And yes, they do have to leave 5 years and 5 years later, and like that doesn't mean the place is good. I mean, I could still see I could still see the resident who lived here because her hair or whoever they were, their hair is still in the drawers and shit. The stuff is still unclean.
The
Like
person did not clean And they literally, I literally have to point out to the fact, I literally opened the cabinet, up one cabinet, there's someone spilled rice and spices in the cabinet. Like there's literally shit, like there's literally a chili pepper, a dried chili pepper, and rice, full like rice in the cabinet. And I was like, wow, yeah. I put it out. I was like, yeah, there's a mess in there. He's like, huh? What? He's like so shocked, like there's stuff in there and stuff. And I'm like, he's like taking pictures of it to send to like whoever the
Their
cleaning person
cleaner,
is.
yeah.
And I'm just like, sir, don't even waste your time, honestly.
Nah,
But
and
yeah,
it
works for
makes me
me.
think about all the places we passed up on that, like, looked nice and kind of met those needs that we had, but, like, they had really bad reviews, like, from of the property management and stuff. 'Cause I don't wanna live in a place where the property management is shit, but, like, now I'm, like, looking back at there's a property we were looking at that looked like, it seems like something we would like. It was, like, unfortunately, like, a ground floor unit, and by ground floor, it's not first floor, it is a bit below ground. We try to avoid those because pests and bugs, and I don't like cannot no, I'm not gonna live in a place like that, and, like, essentially, like, the place we called property manager, and dude was, like, super professional and super shit, but, like, the unit seemed like it looked good, like, from the online photos, which they use the same photos for every listing, so I don't know if that's actually even true or accurate, but now I'm kinda sitting here just like, maybe we should've chose that place as long as it, like, looked nice and shit, but I hate to have that standard where it's like, well, as long as it looks livable, like because looking livable does not actually mean that the place has good management, good maintenance, good anything, like, anything could happen, and so I'm just really frustrated because we essentially are, I mean, not in a great position, but also beyond that, there are places that we've lived. Our last apartment, there's all kinds of crazy, like all kinds of shit that happened that was not acceptable or that was like subpar, but like did not mean that we would not continue living there. We would have continued living there if we could have. There are places we had neighbors fighting and shit, and I forget the cops called on them. Constantly had drunk, like ridiculous neighbors, like white people.
Of course.
And we had pest problems, all kinds of problems, and like wow, like, but we would still live there and we would still consider it. And so it's just like I'm thinking about like, maybe it's something we should think about in the future or think about now. It's like, well, I don't if even if they do have bad reviews, maybe we should still live there anyway because we don't have a lot of options. As long as it meets X, Y, and Z standard, we should just consider. We should just do it. And I
So we're being
really,
forced into a situation like that we're either way we're being forced into housing that we don't necessarily like want. We want to like it. Why is it people are trying to make it seem like we're crazy for being particular about where we live, for
mhm.
having standards.
These
Like
yeah, what does it say? Let's see. You deserve more than livable, especially if you're paying for it. And as landlords keep secure deposits, they certainly do. I know our last ones tried to. They definitely tried to. I hope you'll find a place that's livable so bad. But yeah, we have to fight to find housing that can actually accommodate wheelchairs. Most places that do are so goddamn expensive. What is this? Oh, a Dunsparce. Aw. Bugs seem to be your big no. I'm really hoping that standard is honored. Yeah, and it really is. The fact that apartments don't have a noise barrier standard for insulation is criminal. Honestly, eh, man.
I think we should probably change the subject because I mean, well, we have to wrap up soon anyway. But
Yeah, it's
also,
almost 4:30, so they're gonna start announcing that we gotta get the fuck out the library and shit.
yeah, it just
Um,
doesn't. I have not been feeling. I'll be honest. I have not been feeling great. This hasn't had me look really stressed. Like every waking, thought and shit like that is almost every waking thought is apartment stuff, is housing stuff. If we're gonna find a place that is, acceptable, what we're going to do. Like I really, really don't want to. We really ideally do not want to have to stay in a hotel for a few days while we wait on an apartment or something. We would like to just move out of this shelter and into an apartment. That's what we want to do. But we're getting to a point where we're starting to even consider looking at one bedrooms and just yeah, like
yeah,
just move into one bedroom apartments and shit like that because it'll be cheaper and there's more options there because I mean we're just trying to literally live on a bus line somewhere near our job and not like and not have fucking not live somewhere unsafe,
yeah,
not have bugs and shit, not have terrorist landlords.
and not have to live on top of each other either. Like that's why I don't want a one bedroom. Is because we barely have any
We need
furniture.
storage.
Barely have any furniture, but we already don't have enough stuff. Like you're doing livable without infestations and other horrible things I meant. No, exactly. Like, damn. That should not be so hard. Grabati said you've been so sick this year already, Tiara. Literally have. I mean, it's
Yeah.
been a stressful year already. The year just started and we've already been going the fuck through it. And so to literally be sick all throughout January and to come into February and basically being kicked out of our housing is like, wow, thanks for that.
Horrible.
Yeah, like, regardless of that, we're gonna be getting the fuck out of here ASAP, and, like, we're gonna look at some apartments, and to be honest, like, I don't care, we might rapid fire submit applications. We might be,
And that costs money. These
and it costs
applications
money.
are like 40, some bucks each.
Yeah, and we're trying to keep that in mind, but also, like, just to get into a place and then we can move in because we have to do stuff like move utilities, and it might take a couple days for us to turn on, like, OPD and to turn on heat and turn on air and turn on water and to get renter's insurance. Now, all that stuff I've done before. I could get that shit done in a day, really. But like that shit might take time. And that's the thing that's like, a bit stressful. Getting internet, getting like, a modem and shit and Wi-Fi, all that stuff is gonna take time and can take a while. And that's something that we're trying to just like be cognizant of and yeah, it's frustrating and shit and it's stressful. But like we're gonna figure it out. But man, this is not how I anticipated like moving into an apartment and, finding some more stable housing and shit. Like even just another month would have been enough time for us to just hold on. Okay, well it's basically a 30-minute warning. So I guess we should probably start to wind down stream for tonight. Was wanting to hoping that I could attempt to do some sort of like, some fun stream, fan fiction shit. But like to be honest, considering it's probably gonna be our last stream until we move out of this shelter, or well, not until our last stream while we're living in this shelter. I know that our stuff is gonna go into storage. Stuff like my backpack with all my streaming equipment. I don't really know where all that shit's gonna like where we're gonna end up necessarily. I can't say or promise that we'll be posting stuff in Discord. Obviously, if we have some really great news to share, then we will. But like, if not, not feeling great about shit right now. Like I know we'll
Yeah.
figure it out and shit, but like, man, it's still frustrating and annoying. And so yeah, let's just keep an eye out because we're gonna be posting on social media, like trying to drum up some donations, which I honestly
Mhm.
find it really frustrating and a bit defeating to like have struggled all this time like we have for so long and have to go back to fundraising even though we have jobs. Like I already knew I was not coming to this working thing knowing that we would not have to fundraise again. Like no, I'm not making money like that where I'm just gonna be like I'm just completely like good. But it's like still like frustrating to have to still rely on mutual aid in order to survive despite working a job. Like 2 jobs actually. But regardless, it's gonna be like this forever and shit. And we will find a place and be able to leave here. But in the meantime, we are. I would like to say I'm gonna make a post on social media, but to be honest, we're trying to prioritize actually finding something apartment first. And like if it comes down to it, we really, really do have to find a hotel to stay in, temporarily, then we will make sure to take that time to like post and try to drum up more support and shit. But we are just exhausted, obviously, by all these things. It reminds me of back when we had gotten that, essentially 1 week notice at our apartment, where it told us you need to have all 2 months rent in 1 week, or else you need to vacate the premises. And we had no clue what the fuck we were gonna do. And I waited like 3 or 4 days, and basically made a post on social media about our situation, and we magically got so much support and people who showed up to us to like you know support us, and I really appreciated that. And it was like obviously it really restored all my faith and hope and shit. Not that I was necessarily losing well, whatever. I was low on it for sure. Obviously, we got like essentially a harrowing message that essentially didn't indicate we probably wouldn't have housing in the next week. And we reached out to friends and in person friends who are older than us who have jobs and are married and have all the means to be able to like help support us. And they basically like ghosted, or basically told us they didn't want to be friends anymore. So I'm like, okay, fuck you. But basically, it feels a lot like that again, where it's like, great, now we have to make the impossible happen again. And we're all about making the impossible happen. 'Cause we always have. Like we always make it work for ourselves. Even when we're living
Yeah.
in a fucking shitty Airbnb, even when we're sitting shit living in a hospital, living in a hotel. Even though we've always made it work for us, but like, oh wow, I'm tired of making it work. Like I'm trying really hard to do the thing the traditional way of, working a job and shit like that. And I like where I'm at. And I want to maintain that. But I'm really tired of having to like, you know, work around these fucking craters like that are being dropped in our path. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I got another TA paycheck coming soon. Fingers crossed, y'all can stay afloat with the latest amount of headache. Yeah, I know we can, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's still frustrating to have to live through it and shit. Like,
Like we're gonna be okay. We're gonna get the money. We're gonna post a fundraiser post. It's not gonna be our best, but we're gonna make a post. It's gonna go up. We're gonna, and and depending, if people are generous enough during this Black History Month, we will, we'll meet our goal and stuff, and hopefully exceed our goal. And we'll be, we'll figure it out. Well, we always do, but it just like it sucks living through this again. Like
Yeah.
I'm just exhausted. I'm honestly really hungry too. I think we should just wrap up stream and just go eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Systems are broken. Good people make good things happen to other good people. That part, period. So any donation I make from mutual aid always means spend that money how you see fit. If it means you get boba or something good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate that shit. And that's how I feel too. Like literally since we've been here, some of my first paychecks I spent, somebody had mentioned like an artist, a poet I followed for on Instagram for a while. I hadn't heard from them in years. They posted basically that they had been homeless for the past like 8 or so months. And that 2 months ago they decided to like start working and to try to get out of there. And now they're living in their own apartment and that they need help, essentially with money, just help them bless them with some money so they can buy furniture and whatever the fuck. And I sent them like $100, maybe $200. I can't remember how much.
Mhm.
And they were like, well, basically, how am I supposed to accept this? You're homeless too. Like, what? Oh my god, I thought that mixed up is, I think, no, my alerts are behind. I was like, why did it come up? I didn't hear anything. Welcome in, Crystal Empire. Thank you for the follow. We're actually about to end
Welcome in.
stream, unfortunately. We're about to end stream, but yes, as you can see from the stream titles, our last stream of living in a homeless shelter. I wish I could say things are under better circumstances, but
They're not.
well, I hope my next stream, I don't know when that'll be. So ignore my stream schedule. But I hope my next stream I'm able to do that from a place that is maybe a bit more permanent and that is, with better news than what we're leaving today's stream with.
And I also hope that we could do that one stream. Remember we said we're gonna try
Oh,
the sour candy and the
sour candy
umoboshi.
stream.
We're gonna eat those sour like Japanese candy snacks for our first stream in our apartment.
Oh yeah.
We'll see if we can still do that. I would like to. I actually
I
saw a
probably-
video I saw a reel the other day of some girls trying some fucking some super sour. Actually, we saw it at we saw it there. It was a lemon. It has a face like it's a lemon.
Oh,
making a
that
face
lemon
like
one,
that.
yeah.
And they were trying that, and they tried a green one and the lemon one, and it looked like
The green one
they
was
looked like
from that other company that we had saw. It was the guy with the lemon pompadour, and then the woman with the green one was from that company.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a woman with the green hair.
Yeah, it looked like they were in so much fucking pain.
I love
And I
sour
know-
shit. Why do y'all always love?
See,
why does everybody love sour
Crow
shit?
Batty and Clanny both love sour. We cannot do weird. It's gonna be like
Girl,
I
I
don't know.
was barely okay with the lemon head sodas. Okay,
No, they weren't lemon head. They were
warhead sodas.
warhead
I'm sorry.
sodas.
Girl, I love
See,
soda.
and
Now,
corpse.
now wait a minute.
Lord.
Now wait a minute. Where are we? Now what? Now what had happened here? Now what? Wait a minute. Everybody don't switch
We got
up.
the sour candy train here.
Damn right I do.
And they're all green.
Oh, they're all C's. They're all C names. You're all getting banned. I'm kidding.
And they're all green. Is Jakara still here? Because Jakara is green too.
Jakara is the only one who could redeem you. Not sour.
Sour.
They're trying to take over. Sugary sweets are good. That tangy taste. Sour. Okay, sour, sugary. Okay. Breaking the chain. We're breaking the shackles of Black History Month. The shackles of sour.
Yeah. Someone.
I can't believe that.
Someone silence these.
Yeah, silence. I should
Wait,
click
the
on all these
three
little.
sins,
I should click
green-
on all these little clocks next to your names right now.
No, don't do that. Wait, the 3 sins: green, sea, sour loving.
Ah, that's true. That's true. All of you,
funny.
you all look alike to me.
Not all look alike.
No, I'm sure you all look wildly different.
No, but wildly different.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Ugh.
Honestly, I was so like looking forward to streaming today because I've eaten
You eat lemons
like for fun.
like with nothing on it, with like no sugar or no salt,
Now, I mean, maybe with sugar. I've seen people eat lemons with sugar or salt or something. Maybe.
or maybe a Jolly Rancher.
Yeah, I think people eat like lemons or Jolly Ranchers. I was just
Spice.
vibing. No one could stop me from eating lemons. Wow!
What?
Wow!
What?
Wow! I gotta have a lemon emoji. I gotta make a lemon emote. I have like
Yeah.
9 more emote slots, and I need like a lemon emote or something.
Yeah.
Except throwing tomatoes, they throw lemons at me.
That's funny.
Okay, I can't do that kind of sour. Girl,
That's funny.
girl. I don't know.
That's like these are like remind me of kids in school, who we went to mostly black public schools, so kids loved like sour straws and hot Cheetos or like Takis, and Takis are too sour for me, and those sour straws of course are too sour for me, And it reminds me of those kids.
Hmm.
Like sour straws, fucking whatever, whatever other sour candies they were eating. Oh, those Sour Patch Kids. Can't do that.
I'm eating about a entire bag of Tootsie
Sour
Rolls right now.
Skittles.
Just regular raw Tootsie Rolls. Now I did like Tootsie Rolls, but like I like the flavored, the fruit flavored ones.
I like the flavored ones, but I don't
yeah.
like the regular. I don't love it. I don't love it.
Tootsie
I don't
Rolls,
hate it,
Tootsie
but-
Rolls for me were like not a candy I never bought Tootsie Rolls. I would enjoy them if I received them and eat them, but like I would just not really Chewy Warheads. They got Chewy Warheads?
They do?
Not Chewy Warheads.
Okay, I would
Girl.
try it. I would try a Chewy Warhead. I wouldn't want to get a whole pack. It's the regular ones.
I like Tootsie Rolls though. I don't know what happened to Tootsie Roll propaganda. They used to have them all the time when we were growing up.
They did.
All the time. We need to wrap up soon though.
Yeah, I'm
Let's
really
see. Hold
hungry.
on. No one can stop me from eating lemons. Not that. I love Tootsie Rolls down. Okay. All right. Well, I was really looking forward to streaming today because I just knew that like I was gonna feel better about shit. And like seriously, I was thinking about some of the darkest times in our lives. Like especially, I'm like, what was I going through? I mean, what was happening back then? I can't remember. Well, not what was I going through. I know what I was going through, but like just some of the roughest days and shit. When we were actually still living in an apartment, we were still housed. I remember like just feeling so annoyed and so frustrated with like our life. Probably when we were fundraising and shit still, and coming to stream and feeling so much better and shit. Like literally coming to stream and feeling like I couldn't even fucking like smile. Couldn't even like didn't have anything good like like to look forward to and shit. And coming here and just feeling like so much better and shit afterward and being so grateful and so happy that I streamed. Even days when I didn't really want to stream. And like I'm just so glad that I have this space and that like y'all are here for us and we can just come and vent and chat and just like catch up and shit. Like
Yeah.
especially when we have huge gaps in between streams and shit. Because it'd be like that. I'd be working Saturday sometime. But like, nah, it's just nice to be able to come back to that and shit. Especially on these rough ass days where I didn't even feel like streaming. So yeah, I'm really grateful for y'all and things are gonna work out for us. We're putting in the time, putting in the work, putting in the hours to get what's ours. No rock. Anyway, we're working toward like making our life better. And I look forward to getting to an apartment that is like beautiful. Like that is like looks nice, is like everything I was wanting. Even if it isn't like the best amenities or even if it isn't the best like property management and shit. If we can at least live in a place that we want to live in,
It feels
that's
like
really
home.
that feels like nice, feels like a place we want to make a home. That's all that fucking matters to us right now. And I wish I could have moved with that knowledge beforehand, but oh well, not this rock emoji. Oh, not this rock emo.
Oh
girl.
wow.
All right. Of course it's Jelly Bud.
Well, you said it.
Of course it's Jelly Bud.
You didn't have to say it. You said
Grateful
it.
for y'all, rooting for you, child. Yeah.
Jakara said, "I almost have 100,000 tummy tokens."
Okay, listen. I need to like hold on. Let me 8,000 to go. Damn. Okay, hold on. I need to like make a reminder to like make some sort of like 100,000 or like ridiculous number Fat Tummy tokens like redemption.
Someone's gonna reach it soon.
Yeah. I bet you somebody already has it. It's not you. Do you not have it here?
No, I've been.
Oh, you
spent
spent
my
them.
tummy
Yeah.
tokens. I spend them like I used to spend them a lot more. Okay, let's wrap
Alright.
up because I need to eat something before I like fucking pass out.
I only got 22K. All right, y'all. We're gonna call it a night. I'm trying to catch up Mantike in chat though. Hold on. Have I seen you before, Mantike? Mantike Teo?
Mantike.
I don't have it. Get it, my puppy ball. Like Bushy with his 10 million Fortnite redemption. You did get the 10 million Fortnite redemption.
Wait, she redeemed the 10 million?
She got the I don't know if it was 10 million actually. It was a really, really high number. I think it might have been actually like
That's
she-
why you
but she
played
did-
Fortnite?
Yes, she had the redemption. I was like, I came into that stream, but I think I was late. I was like a little bit late, and I was like,
Where we,
is he playing Fortnite?
We both
Like-
pulled up into the stream. It was wild.
Yeah. Oh, that was so fun. Girl. Now he's on it. Now he's like he like be on Fortnite and shit. No, I didn't, but we did convince him eventually. I was close enough. You know, if not, you would have vaguely threatened him with the amount of points you had anyway.
My ear keeps.
Now he plays just cause.
I think we should get. My ear keeps getting like the second time. My ear is like,
Oh,
yeah, maybe it's time to just wrap up a second to eat.
All right, it's time to go eat. All right, not 223,000. All right. Okay, we're gonna want to wrap up and get out of here. But y'all, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. Yeah, hope we have some good news. Oh, I caught the Mantike. Yo, hell yeah, let's go.
But Alotero like missed it. They were trying to catch it,
Oh no.
but it had to buy more Pokeballs.
Yeah, we'll see y'all. We gotta
Alright.
go.
See you guys.
Bye. Put some music on.
Yeah, you be safe too. Like grandma waiting on the porch.
All right. See ya.
Mm.